Good afternoon. Before I begin, I want to express my deep felt and sincere condolences to the family of Officer Stephen Arkell, his friends, and his fellow officers. Officer Arkell served the people of Brentwood for approximately 15 years and did so with distinction. He also served his community in so many other ways, including coaching lacrosse at Exeter High School, where he impacted so many young lives. He gave of himself. He put himself in harm's way to keep us safe. He paid the ultimate sacrifice. For that, we are grateful and deeply saddened. There's much we do not know about this unspeakable tragedy, and it is an ongoing investigation. A number of questions remain unanswered, but today we'll try to provide you with the best information we have. Members of law enforcement, including the State Police Major Crime Unit, the State Fire Marshal's Office, the ATF, and others are working as quickly as possible under the circumstances to get the questions answered, and as that happens, we will provide updates. First, let me say that nothing I have learned since our press conference yesterday evening contradicts the statements I made. Instead, the information we have learned confirms those statements. Throughout yesterday evening and the morning, law enforcement, fire, and the first responder community have worked very hard to secure the site and make it safe. I saw that work firsthand, and it was done with care, excellence, deserved, and required. That work has allowed most of the residents to return to their neighborhood and to their homes. There remain several displaced families, however. 2 units have been completely destroyed by fire, and others incurred some significant damage, and there will be a period of time before that situation will be resolved. Victim witness advocates from state, federal, and local agencies are working closely with families, friends, officers, residents, and students who have been affected by this tragedy, and that work will go on as long as it is needed. 2 bodies were recovered from the site, and autopsies are being performed. While definitive identifications have not been made, and that likely will not be made for a few days, our best information is that one is Officer Arkell, and the other is Michael Nolan. The medical examiner's office will confirm that information for us as soon as he can. For additional details, I'm now going to turn things over to Jane Yancey Clark, Criminal Bureau, and Sergeant Joseph Ebert, the State Police, who is heading up the investigation.
The times that I will give will be the approximate times based on what we are learning as this event is unfolding. These come from dispatch records that we've obtained so far. At approximately 4:02 yesterday, Brentwood police were sent to a call for what has been described as a verbal domestic dispute at 46 Mill Pond Road. That residence was occupied by an individual by the name of Walter Nolan, N-O-L-A-N, age 86, as well as his son, Michael Nolan, age 47. The caller indicated that they could hear the son swearing at the father, but that the argument was taking place in the house. There was also an indication that although the police had never been called before, that this individual had heard arguing before. At approximately 4:04, Brentwood dispatched Officer Stephen Arkell, A-R-K-E-L-L, age 48, to that residence to check on that report. He was the first officer on the scene. He arrived at approximately 4:10. He indicated that when he went in that residence, he noticed that there was a wall that had been sprayed with bullets, and he saw Officer Arkell on the floor on his back. He walked toward him and saw that Officer Arkell sustained what was later to be determined to be a fatal injury. At approximately 4:14, the same time that he was arriving, there is another call that comes in from a neighbor indicating that they had heard gunfire. As Officer Franek was in the house, after making the quick determination, he indicated that he immediately was met with gunfire. That gunfire drove him from the front of the house to the back of the house, where he was able to escape off the deck and he went to the tree line. He called for backup. Simultaneously, around the same time that he's in that house at approximately 4:15, witnesses are reporting that they hear multiple gunshot wounds. At approximately 4:17, Officer Franek advised that shots were fired. He also indicated that Officer Arkell was down, and based on his view of him, was determined to be deceased. Other units began arriving at the time. At 4:27 and 4:41, there are reports of other gunshot wounds. At approximately 4:47, there is report of smoke from the back of the residence. At 5 o'clock, there is a report of fire at the front door. At that juncture, there are multiple first responders that are staging in the area. At 5:19, Seacoast Emergency Response had their Bearcat on scene, and they, along with members of the New Hampshire State Police SWAT team, were able to get to Walter and remove him from the scene. He was found cuffed on the front yard. He was transported, treated, and released from a local hospital. He currently remains with family members. At approximately 5:49, there was a report of an explosion, and for safety reasons, law enforcement officers and first responders were told to back up. At 6:19, there's a report of fire spreading toward other units. After the fire was extinguished, remains were found at the back of the home. Those remains are believed to be that of Officer Arkell. Those remains were removed last evening. They were transported to the medical examiner's office, and an autopsy was conducted earlier this morning. The manner of the death is ruled a homicide. The cause of death, multiple gunshot wounds. Based on the autopsy, it appears that the officer died before the fire began, and he did not die as a result of that fire. A second set of remains were located late last evening. They were located in an area of the home that was once the garage. That is believed to be the remains of Michael Nolan. His remains were also removed and transported to the medical examiner, where an autopsy is currently underway. As the Attorney General indicated, at this time, members of the ATF, the fire marshals, and the state police continue to comb what was once that residence. To say that it is completely devastated is an understatement. They have estimated that they will be there at least through Friday, if not longer. The first order of business was to ensure that that house is safe, so those that are there can go through that house and find whatever evidence is still there that could answer further questions. I will tell you that I have just left the family of Officer Arkell. Words cannot describe the pain that they have, and they have asked me to ask all of you to please respect their privacy. There are young daughters that are there, that their father was sort of their whole lives, and a plea from the widow is that you please respect their privacy. Any questions that we have that come through us, I think that when you talk to the chief, you'll hear how his department is also grieving, and we just ask at this time for as much privacy for the families and the police officers as I know that you